My parents believed a girl's false accusation and hurt my brother. I escaped a toxic home and fought for custody too. Part 3. That many raped persons are labeled as liars when their allegations are unproven. But this instance is different. Karen lied and fooled everyone for petty reasons. I hope you can understand. My father was defeated, and the home was silent for several days. It was not the same without Kirby. He was the soul of the house. He was kind and friendly to practically everyone. He always provided us joy. I still don't understand how my folks were so easily seduced by Karen. I despise them for that, and I will never forgive them for their actions. Kirby awoke after a long time, only to find himself in horrible health. To give you an idea, his jaw was fractured. He lost 60% vision in one eye. His arm and wrist were broken. His ribs were severely wounded, and he narrowly avoided puncturing his lung. His leg was so severely wounded that he would never be able to walk normally again, without assistance. It also caused him to experience post-traumatic stress disorder, sadness and anxiety. My brother was never the same. He is still in serious pain and requires a lot of controlled medicine. He didn't talk for weeks, and when he took out the gadget that held his jaw in place, it didn't change much. He only responded when we asked a question. When he was hungry, he didn't say anything, and he frequently burst into tears. I believe it was due to the trauma. I wanted to hug him, but his injuries were so terrible that it was dangerous. My parents tried to visit my brother several times. My mother begged and my father tried to push us to accept them, but my sister prohibited them, since she knew my brother didn't want to see our parents, and she told them that, but it wasn't sufficient. My mother was unable to visit him one day due to work, but my parents viewed this as a chance to pay my brother a secret visit. I believe their thoughts would be something like this: let's go see our son apologize. He accepts. We'll be fine and we'll be one big happy family again. What a big mistake. As soon as they entered the room, my brother let out the biggest scream I'd ever heard from him. Soon physicians and nurses entered the room to try to calm my brother down. He commanded, "Get them out of here. They're murderers. They have come to kill me. Please take them out of here." Kirby yelled out and then fainted out from tension. Of course, following that, my parents were banned and barred from visiting Kirby. Only my sister and I were allowed to see him. My mother sobbed all night, and my father blamed our brother, claiming he was exaggerating. Kirby was released from the hospital after months of physical and mental recuperation. My parents had the guts to invite him home. However, Kirby replied, "I would not return to this house, even if it were the last location on earth. I am now motherless. I hope you both pay for what you've done to me." Kirby moved to live with his paternal grandparents, who had no idea of the circumstances before then. They took preventive precautions against our parents. He welcomed my sister and me to visit him at any time, and we did in fact. I spent more time with him than my parents at home. The final straw came during a family party, when we discovered that my father had lied to our entire family. He informed them that Kirby had dropped out of school to live in a drug-infested environment and had fled home, taking his belongings and the money they were saving for my college. But my parents didn't earn that money. Kirby and Lucy were the ones who raised it for my tuition. Kirby had done several odd jobs and was now saving, because he believed I deserved a better future. My sister and I were furious. We informed our family the whole truth, and they were startled and unhappy with our parents. My paternal grandparents were the only ones who supported my parents, saying it's human to err, and that they had done nothing wrong. They claimed my parents were simply ashamed of their deeds, but no one else agreed. The rest of the family left my parents, and proceeded to apologize to Kirby. Fun fact: the next day Kirby contacted me perplexed. He wondered why folks he hadn't spoken with in months suddenly came to apologize to him. Karen's parents arrived at our home a year after the incident occurred. They inquired whether Kirby was home, and when we responded no, they apologized for what had transpired before leaving. Later I learned that they had come to offer Kirby compensation, giving him all of the money intended for Karen's college in automobile. My brother thanked them but stated, "I haven't forgiven Karen and never will. If she ever appears in front of me, I'll tell her some unpleasant realities." Karen's parents accepted his statement and departed. My older brother is doing much better right now. Although he is still not completely cured, he still has nightmares about that day, which regularly trigger anxiety attacks.